Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking an exclusive look at two new ranges of glasses. First of all, the new 3D printed frames from Fas, and secondly we'll be taking a look at the new Porsche Design range of frames. Both these are totally brand new, they're exclusive to us in the area, and we're super excited to be bringing them to you. So, 3D printing, you've probably heard of 3D printing in a number of different applications. Now there are a few advantages of 3D printed material. The material itself is called polyamide, and it's a really interesting process because if you think of the way that a regular pair of glasses is made, it's what we call a subtractive process. So by that we mean we take a block of material, we cut out what we want, and we throw away what we don't want. On the other hand, 3D printing is an additive process, so that means that we start with a powder and we're only using the material that we actually need to produce that product. So it's certainly been proposed as a more environmentally friendly way of manufacturing glasses. But there are other advantages to the material as well. For one, it's dead light. So this frame, for example, looks like quite a bold frame, but this material is actually lighter than titanium. So what's special about this range of 3D printed glasses in particular, because we've looked at a few different ranges and not brought them into the store until now. You're spending a good amount of money on a pair of glasses, you expect something to be perfectly finished. You expect it to look like a high-end product. And a lot of the 3D printed frames that have been released up till now just haven't looked that high-end. The finish has been rough on them. It feels cheap to hold. These definitely don't feel cheap to hold. They feel fantastic to hold and they feel fantastic to wear. They're so proud of them that each one has its own unique fingerprint on the top of the frame, as they're calling it. Plus a little dog tag that they produce with each one that shows the serial number of each frame. They're made in very, very limited quantities, and a lot of the finishing process is actually done by hand as well. So they come in a few different shapes at the moment and a few different colours, as you can see. The aviator shape is probably the most on trend of all of them. It's a style that a lot of people are going for now, and I'm probably thinking of it as my next pair of glasses. This one in particular is probably the nicest aviator that I've put on. I really like the styling of it, but I also love the feel of it as well. They've combined that with one of their best hinges, probably one of the top 3 hinges in the eyewear industry. And you might think, well, why is a hinge so important? But actually, if you've ever broken a pair of glasses, the chances are it was the hinge that failed. It's generally the weakest part of a pair of glasses. So to know that you've got such a robust hinge built with the 3D printing technology, I think is really important. And the other aspect of the 3D printing process and polyamide is the colours that you can produce. So a vibrant blue like this would be really difficult with traditional manufacturing methods and traditional technologies. We're finding that colour is really coming into eyewear. People are being a lot more creative and experimental with the glasses, and a frame like this just stands out so much more than a regular black frame or a grey frame. So we've got these 3 shapes in stock, and they're all quite cool shapes. I'll show you this one as well. I actually have a feeling this one will be the most popular. A lot of guys are quite reluctant to go for frames that sweep up at all in the corners, because it can give a slightly feminine edge, especially if you've not had that style before. So something that's dead straight across the top, a lot of guys feel really comfortable wearing that. So it's a really interesting conversation to have whether 3D printing is going to take over in eyewear, whether in 10 years time the majority of glasses will be 3D printed. We've been looking at a technology which isn't quite ready yet, but which will allow us to 3D print a pair of glasses unique to someone's face shape and head shape. And I think that will remove a lot of the obstacles with buying glasses, because one of the big problems with a lot of people is they'll see a frame that they love and they'll really want it, but it just won't fit them and it won't be comfortable to wear. So if we can get around that, 3D printing is probably the avenue that will take us there. And also, coming back to the environmentally friendly nature of the manufacturing process, that's something that I think people are becoming more and more conscious of. The only downside at the moment, which is part of the reason why we've not kind of bit the bullet with bringing these in up till now, is the price point of 3D printed glasses. We sell these for £400, which is towards the high end. And I think those frames which we were looking at, which weren't perfectly finished and which didn't feel particularly premium, you can't justify something like that. They're made by a really established company. Fas have been around since the 80s, and they're one of the best eyewear designers in the world, so if they put their name to something, you know it is going to be right, and it's going to be done correctly. So I can see 3D printing becoming more and more popular, certainly over the next few years, but we'll find out. So next up, we've got the new range of Porsche Design glasses, and as you might be able to see from this little sticker here, these are an award-winning range of glasses from Porsche. The reason that they've won the award is this new ball joint that they've created. I said that the 3D printed frames were light. These are weightless. I think they may be the lightest frames that we have in the store. They're certainly in competition with the Reykjavik frames that we sell. You wouldn't believe how light they are until you hold them in your hands. Stylistically, they're extremely minimal. You can see they've used a plastic material, again a super lightweight plastic material with titanium arms, and it just produces a really thin, very sleek, kind of sporty, but also smart at the same time style, which I think is what Porsche Design are kind of renowned for. It would have to be the round for me. I really like this frame. It fits well, it's just kind of effortless. I think you could wear it smart, I think you could also wear it casually. The other thing, I mentioned that they're kind of a sporty style. I think they would also be quite good for sporty people because they aren't going to go anywhere. They grip really, really well. I can shake my head all over the place. I can I feel like I could do anything in these glasses and they wouldn't move an inch, which again is one of the big irritations for glasses wearers. You're wearing your glasses and you're constantly pushing them back up your nose. I don't think that's something you would have to do with these, but I'd have to say first and foremost is the styling. Having such a sleek, thin frame is really, really cool, really, really on trend as well. Definitely we're moving away from chunkier frames now. And we've got a mixture of shapes and colours within this range. Kind of in keeping with Porsche Design's philosophy, it is on the more subtle side of things. They're not going for anything brash or crazy or unusual. Modern styles that won't date and won't age. And I think they've really, really pulled that off, and you can see why they've won awards for these frames. I've personally never seen a ball joint used as a hinge on a pair of glasses. It's one of those things that is really simple and it seems really obvious. But I guess if it was so obvious, somebody would have done it already. And in the years and years of eyewear manufacturing, nobody's actually introduced that into a spectacle frame before. So a lot of respect to Porsche Design for coming up with something very innovative, and I think these are going to be a really popular range of glasses. And as a little treat, for the first 3 people who buy one of the new Porsche Design frames, we've got an umbrella to give away, a Porsche Design umbrella. I use one of these myself and it is really, really cool. It's got a button, it kind of opens up as you press the button, which is really useful. So yeah, come in, try them on, and if you like one and you decide to purchase one, you'll get a free umbrella. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it interesting. I'm really curious to hear people's thoughts on whether 3D printed frames are going to take off or not, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks guys, bye bye.